that too.
Time flies.
Pretty bummed. Thought we were gonna play D&D.
Yes,
I know, we should have played D&D, but
definitely should've played D&D.
I got DM's block. I'm sorry. I disappointed.
Can we put the throne on Geo and make him DM for the night, or is that a thing?
Is he in?
This guy looks like he can tell me some shit in the dungeon.
He can tell some stories. Yeah. Tell us some.
So fucking gross.
Yeah, Geo, you can actually just like art. We can role play
Geo
right now.
guru.
No, fine, we're
We
in
can
it.
role play. Yeah, let's just role play right now. Yeah, role play. Let's just role play.
I'm Sam.
Can you guys
play
Can you guys role play your character?
That's a really good impression.
No!
Fuck you guys.
Sorry, bro.
Gio, what's with
Well,
all the hate
role
for my
play.
character?
Because you're female.
Oh man.
Can't be
Too
having
fun.
that.
I love this game.
Bro,
Oh, that's a good game.
there had to be at least one female in the party, bro.
That's
I
fair.
get it, dude.
It's fair.
Can
Be
you
at
guys
least
help
one.
me find my shoe?
We might need a sacrifice.
Kill the old
at
lady.
some
Yeah,
point,
kill
so
her.
that's fine.
A man walks up to the group. He's old and decrepit.
Larry.
His name is Lawrence of
His name is
Narrowwood.
His name is Larry of
Short
Narrowwood. He asks the group, "Can you help me find my shoe?
No, we kill him on the spot, right?
I must ask if you help me. I am looking for my shoe."
I immediately show him Jacob's face.
Yeah, it is.
Ah!
I saw
Ginger boy,
Oh no.
why do you show me this orange man face?
Just got your shoe.
He had
That's the man who has your shoe.
This man has my shoe.
That's it.
Dude's got
Oh! I must kill him.
Dude,
He unsheathes his sword,
Oh no.
strikes.
I quickly do a backflip. I'm not out of this situation. I'm just watching.
He almost strikes Jacob, but quickly
I do nothing.
Jacob dodges out of the way.
Oh, shit. Dodge.
Because he's an old man.
That's true.
He is an old man, and his reflexes are not there anymore.
What's his sword made of? Is it wood or sausage or what? I don't know what I'm dealing with here.
You're dealing. I don't know. You're dealing with an old man who's seen some shit these days. You're dealing with an old man who's really just lost his shoe, honestly.
we talking about like Gandalf
I asked him
level?
if you ever
He's talking about Gandalf old, yeah.
Hey, old man, do you want to smoke some of my green grog? Might make you feel better.
Oh, green rug, you say?
About to smoke
I have my green rug, and I say,
Since now.
It's a lot better now.
a dog's age.
Ooh.
Yes, I would love some green rug. Do you have a light?
This is the age of the bird. We getting high. Let's go.
I do. I got control flames, bro.
Hey, he's got the fire. Yeah, just. I'm gonna roll over the
Pick the fattest hit ever. And just like hold it in.
fat old man rip. Alright.
Something's done.
Those chicken wings smell
Was that the stick?
Yeah.
Dude, that's 5. Dude, how did you? I was
Old
just
man.
coughing my ass off. Oh,
The
okay.
old man takes a fat old hit. Yes! That was a grand old hit. What?
I flash Larry my tits.
Do it. Act it out.
Hey, bro, you heard him?
Just one tit though. Just one tit.
Whoa!
My host was a heart attack. Gave him a heart attack. Is that gonna happen or?
This man has a strong heart, and he does.
You go. All the blood goes to his
phase.
dick and he passes out.
He doesn't phase well.
Boom. DM smoke.
No, he's probably got ED, bro. I don't think that'll work.
He's not gonna phase like you know.
Damn, dude. I thought I would for sure work.
Yeah.
Close. Damn.
It's not gonna like phase him like pretty bad.
He's seen a lot. He got some like hobo pussy.
Hobo pussy?
Yeah.
Hobo pussy.
The guy.
That should be the next name of the next podcast if this one
Hobo
fails.
pussy.
Hobo pussy.
Hobo pussy.
Dude, no. Throat pie is too good.
Throat pie's really good.
Throw
That is like literally the perfect name,
I
dude.
like
That's so good.
It's
Yeah,
good.
you're gonna be with Seth Rogen. I can't remember.
It makes me want to make
Joe
go
Rogan,
on
that's
WoW and make a
fucking
guild called Throat Pie.
Well, I don't think it's
Yes.
We'll
coming.
start it. We'll start it.
Nice.
I don't have a computer, but we'll start it.
Bro, yeah.
I'll go to the library.
It's like we're trying to make
Yeah,
this
you're
podcast.
gonna, you're
with
gonna,
no
you're gonna spend
content.
money on WoW.
Yeah. Why not? How much is
That's
it?
what I'm saying. You
It's
gotta
like
have
15 a
sheets.
month.
How much for a year?
Sheets for what?
For a year?
What you
Yeah.
were gonna talk about?
We did.
They probably get some sort of discount
How
if you
did
do it in a
it
year.
It went
but-
pretty good.
It's
We had a good broad.
almost like-
Like we started with a bunch
Wow,
of shit.
World of Warcraft or
World of Warcraft, yeah.
Dude, I used to
Wow.
play that every day, every hour back in middle school, bro. That was the shit.
I started it in middle school and I literally just have been playing it ever since.
Still play it?
I
Is
still
it still
play
good like it was?
It's not the same game,
No.
but it's still fun. Like, but they have WoW Classic now, so it has like the updated like retail version of the game. But
Yeah,
then
but
they
it's even
also
harder.
have it to where like when it was first came out, so you can play both if you have the subscription.
I think I started playing when it was Cataclysm.
Oh, okay. See, I started in Burning Crusade, and then played through Wrath, which I think was like the glory days. And then Cataclysm was good, but I feel like that's when it started falling off.
Yeah.
And not that it's a bad game. I still play it. I still think it's fun, but it's definitely a lot different. It's more fast paced for sure.
Dude, when I was in middle school, obviously I couldn't pay for the account, but I had a couple buddies I played with, and they had like, the paid memberships. What was the highest level you can get to?
And Cataclysm was 85.
Was it 85? Yeah. They were like level 85. They had like the big ass dragons to ride and stuff, and I was on my little horse trying to go to the destination and stuff. Level 20. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Level 20. Like my friend, like
Oh, because you're on the free trial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
'Cause I
yeah.
couldn't
So you
pay,
can
I
only
was
get to
a
level
little
20.
kid,
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's so funny. You play Horror Alliance
I played Alliance.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Horde,
As
bro. What the
for the
fuck?
Horde, bro.
Yeah.
a little kid, I was all a little nice and a little jet. I was like, good guys.
That's how I started.
Yeah.
I started on the Alliance. And then I'd be playing, and then you'd see like the Horde, like when you're in like contested areas, you see the Horde running around on their freaking like on their raptors and on their wolves,
That
and
was cool,
and,
yeah.
and they fucking look so intimidating, and you're just like, oh, okay, I want to play on their team.
That game was awesome. I bet it's funny that you mentioned it because like literally last week I was thinking about buying it again, like actually buying it instead of free trial and start playing it.
I feel like you gotta put
You
a lot
have
of
a
time into
PC?
those games, right?
You do gotta put a lot of time into
Yeah.
that.
Do you have a PC, Amelia?
We have an
But
HP
you don't
laptop
have
at
to.
the
If
house,
you want to be like a
but
fucking try
I was thinking
hard,
about buying a laptop
like
like that.
elite WoW player, you can put a lot of time in, but it's very casual.
You can just come in for an hour and play like Call of Duty or anything else.
Yeah, we do.
Just play for a little bit, make some progress.
You can get away with it.
That's true.
I used to do it on like one of those really, really small. They were like a mini something. I forget what they're called. It was a Toshiba.
Yeah.
It was trash, but it did the job, man.
Yeah.
And it was, if I did it on like one of those freaking gaming PCs that everybody has now,
Mhm.
it'd be awesome. They're expensive though. It's like
Yeah,
$4 grand.
Yeah, you can get away with one with like for $1,000, like probably $900.
Yeah, I'd be willing to spend that because payment plans and stuff.
No.
Just $1,000. That's nothing, man.
I know, yeah, it's expensive. It's expensive.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of good memories on that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Never played that shit.
No. I remember in Cataclysm, I was maining a troll shaman, bro. It was so fun.
This guy. Just went back to your childhood right there.
Dude,
Little Orion.
So, was it just me, or was like being a gnome the hardest character to start off as? Because like you
Just
barely
the starting
got,
area.
yeah, because like there wasn't much XP on the missions and stuff. That's what I remembered. Yeah.
Because they had the same starting area as dwarves, right? Dwarves and gnomes, I think, started in the same area.
I can't really remember. They were close, I'm sure. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, because when I played Alliance, I was playing humans and night elves, so I didn't really play the. What was it?
I'm a
It was
night
dwarves
elf
and gnomes,
mohawk.
but- not a mohawk, dude. It's Mr. T. Dude, and they made a thing in game where you could get this item called a night elf mohawk, and you could throw it on people, and then they would have like that
Become
Mr. T
Mr.
night
T.
elf mohawk head.
That's
dude.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Pretty crazy.
I bet you I still have my account. I never deleted it or anything. I just stopped playing.
I wonder how many internet accounts I have out there. Just random shit. Like, games I played, emails I've made, like
Yeah.
so much shit.
No, oh my god. What I want to know is if anyone ever made anything fake with me.
A deep fake Hugo.
Yeah, just be like,
A deep fake Hugo. I want to see that.
just be like, this man will kill you, or I will kill you, and it's like a picture of me, like, staring, like, there's a picture of me off bar, like, staring.
You know what? What if?
Deep fake Hugo porn.
What if? You guys ever seen that movie Us?
Yeah.
You know how like they had
Oh,
the
hell
set.
no.
What if there was a Hugo version of like the other world? You know what I'm talking about?
And us.
And he came up at the door, kicked the door down.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Ready to just
And
kill
it's
us
just
all.
like,
But like Hugo, take him.
I'm just like,
They didn't speak. Dude. Oh,
Dude,
I
Hugo,
forgot about that.
I'd be fucking scared, dude.
bro. So Hugo tries to take him on. He knocks Hugo out with one
You hear me
punch.
scream like a
Oh,
little
man.
girl, dude. I'd be like,
I would run in a heartbeat.
Oh,
A clone came in. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh,
I think even Hugo would be scared,
yeah,
dude.
This thing doesn't give a fuck, dude. It's just you and it's ready to go.
No. What
And
if
that
it was-
fucking, like, that jumpsuit that they wear, dude. Oh my
Dude,
god.
what if it was you, but back when you weighed 315 pounds?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Have you seen him when he weighed?
No.
300? He was
Bro.
a big dude.
Can we
I
see?
used to lift like way more than I lift right now.
Oh my god, he was a giant, man.
I came in freshman year, and I wanted to play
Like,
football.
fat or muscle?
I was like fucking big, bro.
It was like both.
I was
The
like,
pictures, man?
Can we see a pic, or are you like uncomfortable?
I mean, I don't really take pictures. Even now to this day, I don't even take pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it.
No, I don't have any pictures.
Dude, if you look at my Facebook profile picture, I've had that same picture for like at least 2 years.
Same. Like I've had like probably the same pictures.
It's me with like my hair's like this fucking
I saw
long,
that picture. I
dude.
was like, dude, this guy locks, man.
Yeah.
God.
No, but you're like, that was a long time ago.
I was back in freshman
In a
year. for
galaxy
this.
far, far away.
What was your size? Your biggest size?
I weighed 275 pounds in freshman
Yeah.
year. He weighed 315.
As freshmen in high school,
Yeah.
oh my god,
It was
that's insane,
crazy.
dude.
It's funny.
It's fucking
It's
crazy.
funny when, because coach would tell them, be like, yeah, we're bringing this other guy. He's gonna be our D tackle, da 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 da, and you know. And then my first day coming out, I see them and they're all standing like in a circle and just
Yeah.
staring at me.
I remember that day.
And then coach told me that one of the centers called me out, and I fucking kneed him in the head.
No
Yeah, I
way.
swear to God.
In front of everybody?
Yeah, he was right there. I just, like,
What?
I got him in the
You just grabbed him and kneed him?
No, okay, so like I gripped him from the shirt and I tried to like get him out of the way.
Wait, during a game or what? You just ran up and kneed this guy in the head?
It was scrimmaging. It was
Oh,
like,
okay,
like
okay.
calling out basically.
Oh, I see. I didn't.
So,
No pads, no helmet. It was just straight, like this.
so then I get him and I throw him to the side
Mm.
and I knee him in the head like that and he like literally just flops over and he's like on the floor. Like,
No, you go.
Jesus Christ, dude.
and then like later on the day, they were having offense versus defense and defense had a pad. And
Wait, you played football in high school? I never knew
only
that.
like 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like they wanted me to play offensive line, which is like.
It's crazy. No, I wouldn't have heard that story before.
So then the offense was scoring on us so many times, and the coach was like, "If you guys don't stop him this down, we're gonna run." And I'm like, "Fuck that shit, I'm big." And you got me fucked up. So I went up there, and the kid was running, and I hit him, bam, and he does like a fucking backflip.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that shit?
dude, that was bad. Everybody it was just straight quiet. Like you could hear the flies. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought he was dead.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't get up for a while.
Oh,
For high school football, he has permanent brain damage. Glory day, boy.
Once we seen his finger go twitch up, then we're like, oh!
He's alive.
Yeah, then we were like, okay, he's good. So we all started going
He's
crazy.
good. He's
Yeah.
moving.
Dude, that was crazy.
Or else it's like everyone take a knee.
No, dude, and then one of the coaches was an older guy. He was like an old white dude. He was like, "You motherfuckers, you guys aren't pushing the fucking pads hard enough."
Oh yeah.
So then it was two of them would go and hit the pad, and then I went up to the pad. It was me, and I fucking hit it, bam, and he fucking falls off. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was one of those sleds, I don't know if you
Football
guys
sled
seen the
thingies?
football field. Yeah, they push them and stuff, and there's a rail that the coach can stand on to watch you push and talk trash. and that's what he's talking about, and he pushed him on that. That takes a lot of power to do that.
And yeah, it was pretty funny because like he was calling out, and shit. I thought it was pretty funny.
It was good times, man. It was good and bad times. It was good because we could talk about it like this now, but at the time it sucked because like the
It was
coach.
a waste of goddamn time.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
Yeah, that's what amazes me about that shit is like they kind of like how temporary that shit is, right? But like you have to really beat your fucking body up for like so much of that shit, like, especially football.
It's like every day, man. Every
That's
day.
insane.
I really, doing like mixed martial arts, I really think I did damage to my body and my head, my neck especially.
For my next fuck.
I didn't know you did mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
How long?
I did mixed martial arts during high school.
Nice.
Instead of doing football for junior and senior year, I did mixed martial arts. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What were you good at? What did you specifically learn?
Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu,
Nice.
stuff like that. And mostly focused on those two. Krav Maga, like stuff like that.
So like, if you got somebody in the ground, that was pretty much your game right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I was talking to him about I want to start taking jiu-jitsu classes because like.
Yeah, I think title boxing does it. That's the only place I know. I think does it in the area, but I don't.
I live in Palmetto, so like.
It's a ways away.
Yeah. So like, Bradenton's like coming. You can ask him. You know, during that rush hour, you're not going nowhere for like 2 hours. You know?
No, and their
It
classes are
does
like
like pack up
5
over there, huh?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to
The
make
bridges
that.
over there, the
Yeah.
bridges, the green and the 41 drill ones. Oh my god, it's fucking stupid.
It's bad, man.
You might as well just.
That's even like not in season and shit. That's just like year round. It's like that. No way, dude. Wow.
Oh, dude, like right now, snowbirds are down right now, so like it's 10 times worse.
It's even
man.
worse. Holy
Yeah.
shit, dude.
People don't know how to drive. They don't know how to drive. They
No,
cut you off like nothing.
Worst drivers I've ever seen have been down here, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to take into account the fact that people are old. A lot of people are fucking on medications and shit. And then, like, you have a lot of people that are traveling here. So you don't know, like, when you travel in an area, you don't know, like, oh, this is left only or whatever. You know what I mean? All that stupid shit. But it all comes together to make what we got.
You know what I don't like though? Like in Florida, I've seen that we have really poor public transportation.
Oh, we don't have any.
That's what I'm saying.
What do we have? We have a bus.
It's stupid.
We don't have, like, any rail system. For how many people live here, you'd think there'd be something else. But I guess that's not that uncommon.
I mean, you would expect, Florida being Florida, so populated with, tourism and people in
It's the
general.
fourth most populous state. You'd think there would be more
Just
public
chilling.
transportation.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That's actually a really good point. Never thought about that.
Alright, yeah, I'll hit you up.
We don't nerves.
Well,
Alright.
it's like, I don't know, I've heard some interesting shit about that. There's like infrastructure projects like that would like impact all of our lives, right? Like you're talking about like massive projects that would like greatly improve. I mean, think about it, if you had 2 hours saved every day for every person, how much work hours is being wasted in the fucking car in traffic. Like you'd think that would be like the main thing our economy would be trying to fix, would be like just let's make it easier to get people around, right? Like just save work hours.
Yeah.
And it's insane that it's like nobody gives a shit about
What if they're
infrastructure.
like, we gotta have them die somehow, so it might as well be on the road.
No, that's a good point too. They're like, let's just coronavirus these hoes. Let's drop them off, and then we don't have to deal with the people. That's actually a
What if
better
like
way.
some scientist when it was like driving home one day, like,
Too many fucking people.
too many fucking people.
Yep.
God damn it.
Dude, this shit, they were telling me about this coronavirus shit. It was crazy. Like, I only thought it was killing like a couple, like 1,000 people died out of like 2 million. That's not a big deal. Dude, apparently there's like, they're lying about it, and there's just like mass graves and shit going
I've heard
on
about
there.
that, yeah.
That's fucking
Some
sketch,
scientist in
dude.
China was just saying the same goddamn thing.
What if,
Dude.
what if there was like.
Well, when people die in China, people die in China. Like, look throughout history, man. You're talking like Mao, communism, and all that shit. Like, and even the great ancient wars of China. Like, when people die in China, it's droves of people, millions.
Yeah, they drop like flies.
So many people,
I mean, if you
dude.
do the math though, like, a certain percentage, like, there's like a ton of people over there compared to like over here, so like, say it's 25% of people here died compared to 25% over there.
No, I know what you're saying. Like, it's a ratio and shit like that for sure. But that's what it's like. I don't know, dude. I'm not saying, like, I don't know as far as the coronavirus and shit goes, but you also have to look like hygiene and shit. Like, we don't even know like how they fucking like they don't give a fuck over there, you know? Like, there's shit in the street and all that. Yeah.
Bro, like, what if like the cure for cancer costs
Make
like
sure the
$1,000?
Chinese aren't listening.
Cure for cancer. Oh shit.
We know.
I think we're better off. I think we're better off with cancer,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
than having fucking zombies. Yeah, I think cancer's probably.
Like, what about if the science like, oh, the cancer cell is dead. Let's put it in the water and let it spread out. That way.
The zombies.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know. The crazy shit is like pandemic shit is like that's how most people have died throughout human history. It's pretty fucking interesting. Like that's killed probably more people than like the most dangerous thing right below it is like other people like in their ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you get like communism and shit like that, where it's like just tons of people just fucking die. It's fucking insane.
Dude, I'm big on conspiracy theories, man.
Oh,
I could
love
talk
it.
all night.
Oh, no way, dude. All right, we're on
Hell
the same
yeah,
page.
dude.
bro.
Alright, let's get your inputs.
Yeah, what do you think, bro? Like,
Give me a topic right
global? Do you think there's like a global elite in terms of like, are there people kind of running shit, or do you think it's just kind of all up in the air? Just off the bat, what do you think about that?
now. The system's rigged.
Systems rigged. Okay. Go on. What systems?
Was it like a lottery? Like, what do you mean it's the system's rigged?
What system? Yeah.
What controls it, basically?
Not to put you on the spot. I just like I'm.
No. See, I like questions like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm big on the government, right? So,
Sure.
how do I put this, man? It's
Like the lizard people?
Yeah, where do you fall on the spectrum? Because I'm like, dude, they're fucking lizard aliens, like with the center of Earth, and they're fucking like they got it all figured out, satanic shit.
See, I'm in on that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
You
no
Alex
way
Jones? You ever
no.
fuck with Alex Jones?
The what now?
Alex Jones, the guy, the conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I've never listened.
Oh, dude. Okay. But he's like fucking he's like super out there. But I feel like that's a good way to gauge people on conspiracies. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that there's definitely no way in hell with all, because think about it. What has it been, like 50 years since the first cell phone was made or something? How long has it been?
Since the first cell phone?
Yeah.
Well, the first one was like in the 80s and shit.
Was it the 80s? Well, let's say from like the first iPhone until now.
The
There's
first
no
iPhone,
way
yeah.
we can evolve that fast. Like, how come, from the 1800 BC or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Why couldn't they think of that stuff? But suddenly our generation can think of this stuff
What's
within
up,
like
Navarro?
20
Okay,
years.
well, you think
Let's
it's
go.
alien technology?
I
or
think
you-
we're not the only ones, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't
Like,
there some alien shit?
we're getting input from something.
Oh, no
You know
shit.
what I'm saying? I'm big on aliens, bro.
No way. Okay, no, I love that shit.
No.
Are you into like fucking like they came here fucking Sumerian shit, or
I
you
think
think like
they-
they're
like-
still fucking with us?
They were here before us, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can hear me or not. Hello?
What are you doing, bro?
I'm talking to this person.
Ah. Talk about aliens,
Who's
bro.
We're talking about aliens? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine, dude. Is she cute? Does she have big tits?
Before,
What?
Hey, bro.
good
Is it
question.
really a person?
No.
Oh,
Keep going.
Oh,
These wings slap so good, bro.
are they good wings?
No,
Good.
Oh, he's wing slap.
pretty much what I was explaining to him was like, let's say the last 20 years, let's reflect on everything science has brought us and every creation we've ever made.
Technological advancements.
Technological advancements, right? But what about fucking 1980s or even the 1800s?
You don't
what
think
were they
it's like
doing?
been increasing?
What were they doing? I mean, think about it though. Like,
Well, like in
Look
the
what they
50s,
made.
they had nuclear subs, right? Like that's kind of like that kind of mindset and that technology that's making nuclear subs, right? Like where did that fucking brain go? Like you don't see that in the common like
that's
person
true.
now. That's why I think like the government's probably in on like, oh, those are some genes that can do some alien programming. Like you can figure out a nuclear sub. All right, you're gonna figure out how to do a nuclear base on the moon. Like they're trying to fuck with that kind of shit. Like
That's a good point.
super weapons, dude. I mean, you have more money than any other fucking organization in the world, which is the military-industrial complex. What would you funnel that into is research and development and trying to develop new weapons. So it's like
Yeah.
the ultimate weapon is like human ingenuity, human fucking genes linking up to fucking create more shit. Like, fuck, dude, what are they going to spend their money on? Finding the people that can build that shit, and they're going to
That's a
tuck it
good point.
away, man.
Alright,
Good
kind
point.
of. Hold up.
What?
Alright.
So he's
But
good.
Pirate Viking
I like
Gaming
conspiracy.
says,
So
okay,
good.
but what if aliens are actually inside me, and if it wasn't about the journey that made me across the galaxy, but the butt probes that they made along the way? No, what about that?
You just live the experience then at that
You
point.
just live the
Yeah,
experience,
fucking that's
Just let
great.
that happen.
And if it feels good, it feels good. If not,
If it feels-
kill yourself.
It's like, are you a destination person or a journey person?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Do you live for that plug to be pulled out, or are you just loving that plug in the whole time? You tell me, dude.
I just wish it would never stop coming out.
Man, you're just chasing a high I'll never reach. You just get the fuck, just kill yourself. You're chasing a purple dragon, bud.
I gotta get some of these wings.
Oh yeah.
Get some of those wings, man.
I mean, I want to be fucking ripcord.
Do that Asian thing, bro.
Squeeze by a little bit.
Slapping on
Just
it.
ruined all. You guys had all the Asian things. That's okay.
Well, I
Still
didn't know.
other good flavors. I know.
I didn't know I was mixing it for everyone else, so I just grabbed like 5 and put them in a thing and put some sauce on it.
I'm getting the
I feel like I'm next, like the ultimate caveman, dude. Just
Wait.
sucking on
Wait.
wings.
I look like a caveman, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love it, dude. I'm fucking enjoying it. Keeping me
This is that,
grounded.
that primal shit.
You're
bro.
keeping me really grounded on primal human life. Man.
Grounded?
That's good. Yeah, you're grounding me, bro. You're just some ground shit. You eating that
Have you
wing
ever
right
eat-
there.
Have you ever eaten a steak with your hands before?
Oh, it's the best.
Isn't it
dude.
so good?
Feels right, dude.
Gio, if you're homeless, what would you do?
Like, just treat me like a 2-stroke engine.
Survive.
If you're
Right,
homeless,
right.
what would you do? First thing that comes to your mind, survive, dude. What else would you do? Yeah, dude. What kind of homeless are you talking? Are
I
you
would
like
just
a
keep
fucking
living.
drug addict? Or are you just like... Some people are just fucking crazy.
Like your wife divorced you and took everything that you own.
No, that's just fucking fine. You get a dog and you go out to the mountains and you have a good time, dude. Fucking fuck your
Bro,
wife.
this guy's homeless in my gym.
You get a gun and you find her.
Or Matt's real.
There's this
These
guy-
are both good options.
There's a guy in my gym who's homeless. He has like 4 lockers that he has his shit in, and the staff keeps telling him to take the shit out.
Oh, it sucks, dude. Dude, that's when you just... Well, I wonder what his situation is, but, like, if he's holding on to shit, like, you know, fucking let it go, bro. Go hit the street. I don't know if that's good
That's like the
advice.
biggest homeless man I've seen in my life.
What?
This homeless man, he's huge.
Is he big?
Yeah.
Well, if he lives at the gym, he better be. Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Put your time towards something. Get yoked, bro.
Where does he sleep?
At the gym. He doesn't sleep. He's getting big, bro. He got time to not see gains.
What would the best way to get an alien to call me daddy?
Oh, you choke it and slap it. I don't know.
Joking.
Sorry. This is the first thing that came to mind.
Wings are fire.
Thanks, Matt.
It's not a wrong answer.
That's what I said. Alright, next question.
Lead the way.
I think we answered that pretty good, so let's go.
My question is, why do people hate Jews so much?
Well, that's
Whoa,
a deep
yeah,
question. We could
Deep.
delve into that. That's when you start getting into, like, Israel and politics and, like, fuck, dude, that's a whole nother thing. And that's even before that. I mean, people have always hated the Jews. And that's
I
the
mean, ever
thing.
since Egypt.
Even before that, they were just, well, here's the good thing is like they've always kind of been a no man land people, and I think that's like, you know, if you don't have a land to cut, like that's the whole thing with Palestine and fucking Jerusalem and shit, right? Like they've never really had a land. So when you're a landless people, I think it's easy for everybody to be like, fuck you, like you don't have a land. What do you call home? Like whatever, and like they've forever just been grinding. But on the same note, like I don't know, they've definitely like heightened education and shit more than other people. So when the Dark Ages hit, like the Christian world, they were like way advanced on people.
You mean control people?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when Dark Ages hit, they never really hit the Jewish world. Like they were still learning and shit through like Hebrew texts
the
and
Muslims too.
shit. And the same with yeah, you're right. So like they kind of got a leg up. Not to mention the fact that like it's a sin in the ancient like or old Christian religion to fucking was it usury, whatever. It's pretty much giving a loan, right? That's a sin. Like to expect interest on a payment is a sin. So the Jews got complete control of that entire financial market, which is the foundation of capitalism. Is like okay, I like being a bank, right? You go to a bank to get a loan.
So they essentially got a one-up.
They got a one-up on the financial system, they got a one-up on the educational system, and they've never really had a land to call theirs, so, like, I think between, like, all that shit is where you get, like, this giant Jew thing that everybody, like, clings to. But it's like, and then you get into the conspiracies of it, like, there's probably some truth to, like, they're probably, like, looking out for themselves at this point and being like, yeah, fuck the world, like, they're just gonna keep trying to kill us, so we're gonna fucking, like, get nukes and, like, try to control America and, like, you know, all that shit.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some would argue they already do. I mean, you look at the amount of Jewish, pro-Israel fucking people in, like, the United States Congress and Senate and shit like that. All of them are like, oh, yeah, support Israel. They're our allies. It's like, in a way, we're, like, kind of like Israel's arm in the Middle East. So it's like, you know, I don't know if that's good or bad. It just is what it is. It's empire shit, you know? Like,
I
fuck.
was talking about how, like, if Bloomberg gets elected, he'll be the first Jewish president.
Bloomberg's
What about Sanders? Isn't he-
Bloomberg, look us in the fucking Jesus.
Jesus, bro.
But yes, no, he's very Jewish.
I mean, Bloomberg, yeah.
I thought Sanders was Jewish, too, though. That's what I always heard.
Sanders, oh yeah, Sanders Jewish.
He's not like a real Jew. He's like a fake Jew.
Yeah,
No.
that seems right.
That seems right.
One of those, like, Connecticut Jews.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're saying. He's not really Jewish.
Yeah, like a name only.
Yeah. I don't think Bloomberg's got a shot. It's honestly, it's going to be Trump again for another 4
Once
years.
again, I need your financial support.
Republicans said no on the witnesses.
For what?
The witnesses.
For impeachment
To
shit?
call
That's all. That's all.
To call Bolton. So the Republicans said no about that.
Oh yeah.
So he's presumed got acquitted.
No shit. He's gonna be voted in for another 4 years, dude. And it's like that's kind of what the American people deserve for not giving a fuck about their fucking political system. Like, you get what you get. You get a reality TV star as your fucking president. We don't give a shit. Like, I mean, it's on the people to fucking be out there and be like actively trying to do like that infrastructure thing. Like that shit we should all care about. Like, it's like I feel like that's more conspiracy shit too. I can tie this all together. They kind of breed this like whole fucking like, oh, we're helpless. Like, give it to the politician. Oh, we're helpless. Like, but dude, we have rights as citizens. Like you saw in Virginia. Like people just showed up with guns. Like you can just go out and start a march. You can just go out and fucking like do whatever the fuck you want. And like if everybody got together and was like, we need better infrastructure, right? Like infrastructure should come around. And if not, then what's kind of government is like fucking like running you? You know what I mean? I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm high on acid. But, like,
We're all listening to you. Shut the fuck
Fuck.
up.
Man, I'm a part
Sorry,
of the
bro.
No, don't shut the fuck up.
Just saying. Fuck the government, bro. Fuck the government, dude. Some guy said this really well. It's like, dude, like you look at like your average politician, dude. Like, okay, like if you had like your refrigerator wasn't working, guy couldn't fix it. You had your TV wasn't turning on, guy couldn't fix it. Your Wi-Fi's out, the guy couldn't fix it. Your toilet's plugged, the guy couldn't fix it. Like, what the fuck? How is this guy gonna tell me how to run society? Like, oh, but let me tell you where the money should go and how people should live their lives, and this is what's moral. Like, the guy can't even fix your fucking TV. The guy can't even like make sure your car turns on in the morning. Like, those are people that like are actually doing shit with like a tangible good, right? That's what we pay money for, is tangible assets and services. And like these political figures they're career politicians, dude. They're not offering shit. They're offering like what we call like mouthpieces and shit like that. And it's
They're
fucking
offering dick. Yeah.
offering bullshit. And that's why it's like, I don't know, dude. It's like that's where you get this weird tipping point where it's like we're living in American history where it's like Trump is our president, right? And it's like I'm not a pro-Trumper, I'm not an anti-Trumper. I'm just like I think it's a reflection of American society, and it's like fuck, dude, spot on. Like if this like that's like the ultimate like we don't give a fuck about our political system. This is like the guy that doesn't give a fuck about anything. Like that's perfect. Fucking awesome. No.
Amen, bro.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Yo, Trump 2020. You heard it first.
And we lost all our viewers.
Dude, we just gained half the country. Or at least majority of Mississippi and Alabama. Fuck.
No, we did.
Anyone want some cheesecake?
All right, next topic.
Whoa.
You got cheesecake?
Did I hear cheesecake?
Cheesecake?
Yeah.
What
We'll
else?
send from Chicago for Christmas. And
Totally
then-
Virginia has their own county.
We'll tempt the big boy with cheesecake, man.
California has its own county.
Yeah.
Counties are pretty big, bro. You might want to look at the map on that one.
Yes, sir.
Is it really?
No.
There's no way. I was gonna say it
No.
can't be. It's probably part of Manatee.
What are you talking about?
We need to inform the people about Livonia.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. That's what That's what they want you to think, bro. Trying to hold all that technology away from us.
Dude, I don't know what. I think it's just because I just smoked. And I was just like, dude, in my mind, I'm just thinking like Livonia is like Wakanda. It's gotta be. That's gotta be a front.
It's a perfect front.
Yeah.
Some fucking butthole in southern Florida. That would be the whole Wakanda.
Livonia forever.
Genius.
Dude, I live right down the road from Livonia, so sometimes
I've
at
actually
night,
never been, so I can't even.
It's nothing good to see. It's
Yeah.
just a little town, man.
You call it Gina.
Sometimes, man, I hear gunshots at night, man.
I don't know where that's coming
It's not a good place to be at nighttime. When it gets dark, you don't want to be
Ghetto,
there.
sketchy.
That's when the shit goes down. When it gets dark.
Detroit, basically.
Yeah, it's good.
No.
Yeah.
Hood rats are hood rats. They're everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, it's one of those places where if you drive by in the street, every single porch monkey, and I'm sorry, every single person in the
Keep going. Let me finish your sentence.
yeah, but when you drive by, everybody that's sitting on their porch with their Modelo, their Corona,
Yeah, I see
their
what you're
Natty
saying.
Light, you know what I'm saying? Just stare you down like if they want to kill you.
No shit.
All right,
Very
and that's the type of environment it is, man. And I'm sure
See,
at
dude,
nighttime it's not great.
All those people need a tab of acid, man. That whole neighborhood would come together and be like, fucking in the streets, like,
Yeah, right.
give them a tab of acid, dude. All those people would drop that shit. You don't think?
That's how I kind of feel about with the whole legalizing weed. I'm like, why not? Because it makes everybody happy.
Yeah, yes and no. I feel like weed though has turned into a really weird thing. like weed, right? It's like very fucking like common in our culture now to the point where it's like everybody smokes weed, right? So like you wouldn't think it's cool if somebody got up in the morning and like fucking cracked like a whiskey and was like, oh man, this is what I do every day, man, crack my whiskey in the morning. Woo! Like you'd be like, dude, get that guy help. You need to go to AA. But like we glorify the fuck out of that for stoners, dude. They're like, let me take a dab, bro. I'm just living my life. I'm dabbed up all day, smoke blunts all day. It's like you're kind of like it's the same thing, right?
But
You're
that's a bit extreme, though.
even if you're smoking weed all day, every day, like it's like you were saying earlier. Like if I'm high all the time, then that's me, right? Like
Well, it has medicinal purposes.
It does
so
have
alcohol
medicinal
doesn't have medicinal purposes.
I'm not saying they're like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, it does.
Not to look,
At least I'm drinking.
Alcohol does not have
anybody who
medicinal
smokes weed
purposes.
another
No, it's probably
Back in the
No,
fuck.
no, the pain of blood.
There's reasons
Back
they,
in the fucking Civil War,
they
dude.
do smoke it though every day
Fuck
for their
you.
body or for whatever.
I see what you're
purpose.
saying, but I'm looking at weed in like the context that we're talking that most people now smoking to probably get high, right? Not for actual medical purposes. Like most people that are smoking are probably getting high, right? Dude, I used to be a huge stoner. I fucking love smoking weed. I'm not shit here to shit talk.
So I mean, you might as well legalize it because even with it being illegal, everybody's still getting it.
Well, I would say legalize all drugs for sure. All drugs need to be legal. But yeah, I think this whole idea of like weed being super cool is kind of like almost a psyop by the government, where it's like, oh yeah, smoke weed all day, like, fuck yeah, like I work at a fucking gas station, I'm smoking my blunt, like, don't you like, oh, you could be figuring out the problems of the world and like actually giving like a contribution to society instead of like you're passing off blunts and like thinking that's fucking cool. Like it's hood rat shit, dude. They're pushing hood rat shit. Fuck that shit, dude.
It's cool to do here and there, I guess.
No,
You're
I
chilling like this.
still love smoking weed. I'm never gonna shit smoking weed. I love smoking weed. But I just think where there's like this whole push for marijuana is coming from that. I don't think it's like from like this idea of like drugs should just be legal and everybody should do drugs. It's like this very like, I don't know, almost like borderline abusive of it, right? Like
I got you.
when I use weed, like now after being like a stoner, like I love to fucking like get super high and do something or like fucking
Be productive.
not even no, I don't want to be productive. I want to be fucking like use it like a drug, right? Like I actually want to like have a trip. Whereas when I was a stoner, it was like all day, every day, and it was normal to me. Kind of like
Nah, you stay away from Gio. He's gonna
Oh,
say that shit on you.
God damn.
It's just sucking down the wings,
That lighter,
boy.
is that lighter gone? I feel like that thing is gone, isn't
I
it?
think it flew under the couch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright.
You got hot?
You okay? Is it hot?
What
Hey, you sucked down a bone there,
Get
buddy.
some of that natty ice, man.
No,
Huh?
So I go to restaurant.
the sauce in my throat.
Dude, fuck yeah, thank you. That's a compliment.
But no, the meat
Yeah,
fell
it's a
back
real
in place.
That's a big burn on where
You're killing them wings, though.
Sucking down some
Those
wings.
they like.
Dude, you came over here
like they make
ravenous,
them ahead
bro.
of
You
time,
sucked down that
almost done.
shit. Sucking down wings.
Fries,
This guy's just munching.
per order.
I didn't,
So,
well, yeah, I only ate a burrito today.
some people like them greasy.
Yeah, I feel like you never eat
that.
lunch,
I don't-
dude. Every day at lunch, you never see you eating.
Well, I eat sometimes.
Yeah.
Damn.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
This chick was hot.
Oh, was she on the cast? Oh, go back.
No, this chick was hot, dude.
She was watching us? Wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
what made her want to click our podcast?
I
Your
don't
guys'
know.
podcast, sorry.
Great question. You're part of it.
do
You're
not know.
on here. You're part of it, bro.
Featuring.
I do not know, dude.
Damn. Well, we
Is she
lost
still
her.
watching or no?
No, she's not.
Well, no shit, dude. She probably saw a bunch of losers fucking doing nothing and left. Just kidding. We're good people.
We just stream video games.
That's pretty cool.
And we talk over those video games.
She's like, yeah, let me go watch some guy play some Twitch, bro. I want to see someone like really playing well.
Nah.
Is it air conditioning on, dude? It feels so good.
My belly's full of chicken, bro. I'm good.
I turned it on because it was like 75 degrees.
No, it feels great. It's a good move.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I'll keep it safe, don't I?
it's nice out here
Make
too.
it.
So it's so nice.
Maybe for a
I love
night.
Princess, dude. She's so sweet.
Yeah, dude.
She
She's
came back?
just a really chill dog. She doesn't like little kids, and she doesn't like other dogs that much sometimes.
My dog hates people and hates animals. She
My
kills
dog
them.
loves people though. If she ignores you, let it go. I'll grab at her.
Are we still throat pod right now?
We're still throat pieing.
Throat pod? Okay, I got one for you.
Alright.
This doctor in fucking England, and there's this big controversy. He's teaching that at some prestigious university that up to 28 weeks after life, if somebody has like a mental deformity, autism, or whatever, that they could be like you can opt out to kill them, like euthanize like a 28-week like year old.
Old.
I don't know what that is.
No.
Yeah.
abortion?
Pretty much.
dude.
If they have like a deformity or autism or something where it's like they can clinically prove that it's off. And this guy was teaching, everybody's up in arms in it, but it is like something to talk about. Like, I don't know. Fucking, here's what I gotta say: throughout most of human history, this is not right or wrong. Throughout most of human history, those babies were examined and looked at and left in the fucking woods. That's like.
No, they were thrown off a cliff.
Or
in
thrown off the
Sparta.
cliff in Sparta. This is true. But like most of human history has dealt with it that way. So like we live in a very privileged time to be looking at this, which isn't like whatever. But like I don't know.
Nazis did that too, right? Kind of.
What?
They did that with they put people with disabilities in the camps.
The Nazis? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
But this is not like when they're older. We're not saying like round up the retards and start putting them down. I'm saying like fucking.
Why not?
Well, dude, you need like a really good public transportation system, and we need efficient ways to mark them, and
Oh my god.
I mean, if you had like a barcode system,
It's just
numbers,
not practical.
Yeah, it's not practical. At the end of the day, we gotta get everybody together with guns, and we gotta make sure they don't do anything. Ideally, put them in ghettos.
You know, it's really hard. You know.
It's just a pain in the ass. So
Who would
let's
have knew?
keep
Like,
it-
who would have thought, right?
yeah, dude. What were we talking about?
Are you talking about putting retards in ghettos?
No.
No, we were talking about how it'd be too much of a fucking pain in the ass. To
Yes.
Well, no, it's just not possible.
do it. It'd just be too much of a pain in the ass. Like, we're not gonna do it.
To
It's like
round up?
estimated.
No way. If we no. What?
Hey, if there
The
was-
human race, if we set out tomorrow, like, listen, we're exterminating. I'm not saying this is right. I'm saying if humans tomorrow set out with all of our intent to exterminate everybody with Down syndrome,
it would happen.
it'd happen overnight.
Right.
Dude. 7 billion people, we'd all just be like, all right, we'll get into your, go kill the people in your neighborhood that's not fucking normal. Oh, that's fucking tribal, dude. Like, I don't know, that'd be fucked up.
Yeah, it's just like.
But we could do it if we wanted to do it.
But like, it realistically 6 million, dude.
We've
I don't
deviated
know.
from the question. The question was, this guy's preaching at 28 weeks postpartum abortion if there's a deformity. Right or
Oh,
wrong?
it's abortion. That's fine.
Well, it's not
No,
abortion.
it's-
They're
it's-
28 weeks.
The term postpartum abortion.
Oh, but it's
is
28 weeks after
like-
birth.
Yes, after birth.
Then
How would they do
I don't
it though?
know. I don't know
What is
about
his
that,
way
then.
of doing it?
That's over
Well,
half a year.
you unscrew a
Maybe,
coat hanger
poison.
and then you kind of just twist it on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
mean-
about that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
You know about that?
No.
The guy's arguing for it, so like I don't know. Oh, he's teaching that.
Hugo's
I
not.
don't think it's good.
For the people
You don't think it's
who
good?
are
So do you
watching,
think it's
Hugo's
good?
not
Why,
excited.
why can't we do it before? That's what I'm saying.
What?
Like before it's even born?
Yes.
That makes it better?
Well, yes. That makes it
Really?
way better. It's just
How?
not developed.
So if I were to kill it right before it came out at 8 months, then you can sleep easy with that. But if it was out of the pussy, then you have a huge problem with
Yes.
it. Okay, well I just want to know. Okay.
But how do you know?
It's an
if
embryo,
born?
bro. It makes it. You know,
It's a
just-
fucking embryo. It's a
It's still
fucking...
developing though. And that's okay.
No, because you can have a you can
It's
have
not-
a baby.
I feel like it's not conscious enough to think it's alive.
I don't think it's conscious at 28 weeks either. That's what I'm fucking saying, dude.
Really?
Like,
You don't think a baby's conscious right after
you-
birth?
28 weeks? No, not at all.
Like, do you remember anything from when you were
How
28?
the
Come on.
baby is conscious at 3 years old?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, when did you even?
But I'm-
I'm fucking kidding, dude.
But no, but for real though, like they're still baby, bro.
So yeah, that's
They're
what I'm
alive.
saying.
They're
no,
alive.
No, I'm not busting your chops. You're
I
just
don't
saying
have
it's
any
okay with
memories
before they
past.
come
I
out,
don't
and then when they
have
come
memories
out, that's where you're like, oh my god, I would never do that. But it's like, I don't see the difference.
You don't see. Why don't you?
Because if it's in the pussy, it's still as much alive to me if it's 28 weeks.
Well, to me, it isn't.
See,
Because
I
I
just
know.
don't get where you're drawing
Because
that
I know it's just a
delineation.
little parasite in the body.
So that's different. I'm
Well,
separating it
we're
out.
fucking
dude.
parasites in our mothers. What you mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? You're different at 1 month than you are 3 months, right? Like, aren't you different from like the cum that made you, like than like the fucking cells that met up and fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's all chromosomes and shit.
Because I'm still conscious
We should
right now.
abort
I don't think you were conscious at 28 weeks, bro. That's what I'm saying,
Does
man.
anybody want a cheesecake?
How solid? How
Like I
how
feel like now
solid is that
it,
cheese?
because it's been birthed, it went through that process of getting birth. It deserves to live
It
now.
might still be a little frozen.
I think you got
Maybe
several
I-
dilemmas, bro.
I don't know. Maybe because my idea is like maybe it has a chance to live now. It has to.
You don't think it had a chance at 8 months? When it's in the fucking
Dude, this got deep.
person and she's fucking like she's got fucking full new and then let's get shit.
What about the people, the lady that she
I guess
gave,
I'll get one.
she had to give birth when the baby was only 3 months old, and then it still lived.
Premature.
Premature.
Really?
Yeah.
And how was that?
Oh, really?
They just like basically incubated it in the hospital. And
Just a little. It was a little lima bean. They said to go kiss it every day. They grew into a whole person.
In a tube? That'd be cool. Well, they've done that before.
I'm sure they have, dude.
I don't know if they have a belly button though. I think they do.
Well, dude. We can do that with goats right now. We just haven't done it on humans because we have like morals and shit. Like I'm sure they've done it in China.
They all look the same.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, because you can breed like a fucking clone in just as long as you have like nutrients and can pump it in and the 2 fucking chromosomes that can branch out and all the cells and shit. Like boom, 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 boom. Like yeah, we can brew. They can brew that shit up, dude.
Oh, I got you.
I think life is like we're putting way too much thought into this, like a baby being like a human. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying.
You got a meat sack, you mean?
It's a meat sack, bro. And at 28 weeks, it's just as much as a meat sack as it is at 8 months. It's still in the belly. Like it's a. What's the difference, bro?
I think there's a difference for some. Just maybe because like I feel like it's out of the vagina, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's breathing.
It's
breathing.
It's breathing, but it's technically breathing inside. It's not like it doesn't have oxygen flowing in it.
Well,
it's
don't
inside
like
the
when do
fucking
they?
shit.
I thought like once they're out of the shit, like they start breathing oxygen.
Well, they start using their
follow
lungs
her
and
on
shit, but
Twitter.
like your cells still need oxygen and shit, and it's getting it through
They're
the.
just breathing, but not in the way that we
She's
do.
from Lancaster, UK. But fucking
Oxygen is being
get some.
processed and
What's
shit.
their first breath outside the
This guy.
What's their first breath outside
That's
the
the
womb?
kind of shit that like why people are like religious and shit. They just like more like some weird fucking like lines in the sand that don't make any sense.
It's living now. I feel like
It's no different than when it was in the pussy, bro. That's why if I walked up to a pregnant lady and I just socked her in the gut and she just had a miscarriage, I would be like, you murdered that baby, right?
yeah.
But fucking yeah, what the
That's
fuck? But then like you can just go.
No, you did though.
All right, but then she can go and get. If she gets on the table and this guy's like, here, let me just suck it out. We're like, oh, that's not murdering the baby.
I guess it's her choice. I guess.
So it's your choice.
So it's not the baby's choice. So it's not. I guess
It's never the baby's choice.
So
But isn't it weird that it
So should we
depends
give
on...
babies choices then? Should we have that like in our laws?
But isn't it weird that depending on whether the
Like,
whether,
like,
He's
you-
just
I-
like,
I-
suck me out, boy.
whether the mom wants or does not want the baby changes whether it's murder or not?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Good point too.
It's true.
Hey, Gio.
Just kill babies. Is what we're saying, bro. Come and kill them.
Maybe because like I had like my little brother. Maybe because of that.
Ah, see, man. I
Like-
got Freudian on this guy.
Because this just like it's
about
different
you,
when you
brother?
have a kid, like or when you see a kid grow
So
up.
that's what I'm saying. You see that 28-year-old, and you're like, that's like. Could be
It's
like-
my shit.
could be
It's
like
my
his
problem.
shit. Yeah.
It's my
Now, if
problem.
I put some little coronavirus fucking Asian
And
baby
it's-
in front of you, you'd probably just like stomp it.
Like
to
if
death.
why couldn't the person individually like think through the process? Like why go through the trouble of like killing it? Like why don't you kill it right away?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't know it has a deformity, right? So this is 28
Like,
weeks
like,
after
when do
you
you
have.
know when you have a deformity?
Well, this is like it just comes out.
Well,
It's
let's
like
look it
fucking
up.
weird.
Look at the facts, bro.
Well, yeah, that's true. I came in just
See-
kind of telling you some shit.
Yeah,
I actually
that's
had no
what I
idea.
mean.
Well,
I
that's
just
true,
heard
'cause
about this.
my little sister has Down syndrome, and they were able to determine that before she was born.
Holy shit! Actually, that gives you a really good insight. So, like, what do you think? So, like, as far as your family and shit goes, like, do you think, like, I don't know,
The moral.
like, do you think if they had the option to do it, that they would have terminated it, or
No, they did have the option,
Oh,
and they
no
almost
shit.
did it.
No way.
And then they decided, they were like, no, we're going to have the baby. They
Holy
think it.
fuck!
Question though: how do they determine before when it's still
There's some sort of
And-
test
and
that
You
they
can test
do
for
to-
chromosomes.
Well,
and
here's
shit
the thing.
like
My mom was like 45 when she had it, so
Mm.
they were like, there's definitely increased risk of that kind of stuff happening at that age.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
they were
Holy
definitely
shit.
looking out for it.
And
That's
it's like,
insane.
but do you like? I know, like the topic of like financial stability comes up of like taking care of her like in the future. You know,
That is true too.
that comes up.
Well, that was the whole. What I heard was the whole argument was like make it easier for the people that have to deal with this, right? Like in terms of like emotional stress, financial stress, whatever
Yeah,
it be.
like
yeah.
that's my worry about having a kid like that.
Some would say that's super selfish.
That is selfish, but
Yeah.
like like that is my worry.
No, I get it, dude. I don't want. Nobody wants that,
That's the
right?
point of having the kid. You can't take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Or if it can't take care of itself.
If it can't take care of you when you get older.
Oh wow, you're thinking in the future here, bro.
Fucking.
Dude, no, that's
cycle of life.
primal shit, dude.
That's the
That's
Whether-
primal shit. That's cycle of life.
That's why we used to have
people
kids.
can
That's what the Chinese do.
say all they want that's not like in like the
No, it's
depths
right,
of the
yeah,
brain,
that's
but
true.
everyone thinks that way
Yeah.
for sure. Whether
Who's gonna care about you when you're fucking old,
Yeah.
dude?
look out for number one, right?
These are your
Yeah,
slaves.
holy shit, bro.
That's what. Yeah.
That is super deep. I never even thought about it like that.
Well, that's what the Chinese do.
Have your fucking Well, and it's like what a great system for caring for the elderly. Like now
They
we
have
try to
that
pass
deep
it off to the
tradition.
government and shit, and it's like look how that goes. Like
So
it's
then,
fucking horrible.
then does that baby? So you know how you're calling babies are just parasites, right? But would they not be considered parasites if you had that thought process? Well, oh, they're going to take care of me when I'm older. So does that turn it from a
You
parasitic
are the
relationship
parasite. Yes.
into a symbiotic relationship, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a parasite. It's like a symbiont or whatever.
It's almost an extension of yourself.
It is an extension to yourself. It's
To
your
carry you
DNA.
through like the later stages of your DNA, through your own DNA.
That's what we are.
Whoa, that's fucking deep. All right, I like that. Throat pie.
Throat pie.
Just bubbling with cum, dude.
I just followed this girl on Twitter who just like said what's up to me.
Oh, nice. Is she
On
cute?
the stream.
Oh, nice.
Well, she just got throat pie, dude.
She just got throat pie.
Throw pie.
Throat pie.
She got throated.
We
Bitch.
gotta have like we have to have little.
Yo, it's where you have actual people come on, yo, with little sounds and shit.
Yeah, have you watched the Your Mom's House podcast?
Mm-hmm.
That fucking intro, dude, that's so fucking
That's good.
ridiculous every
We gotta
time,
get a
dude.
soundboard or something.
That,
This is what your mom said. Yeah, that shit's good.
who is
Don't bring
Randy?
your own mother into this.
Yeah.
Your mom wasn't fucking saying.
Who is Randy?
Yeah, dude. This guy watches some
fucking does
podcasts, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know Tom Segura's podcast?
Yeah, I know Tom Segura. I know
Christina.
I know the Asian guy. Fucking
Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee, dude. Oh, he was just on Theo Von. That was a good podcast.
Theo's so fucking funny, dude. He is an interesting person.
Theo Von?
Yeah.
Half the shit he
you know,
says has
he
got to
has
be
the
fake.
best
Like, he's just
fucking roast.
saying shit, but it's like fucking so genius.
He has the best roast ever. Theo Von.
Mm. He'll say shit though, like, my granddaddy used to cook up owl. Like, he'll just go on this tangent. It's like, and when you get the owl when you're cooking it, like, you just make, like, this can't be real, right? Like, I don't fucking, but he'll just go on for hours about it.
Dude, he was born in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh no, Louisiana, right? That's where he's
Louisiana,
from.
yeah, dude.
Fucking Cajuns, dude.
Savage people.
Yo, get that throat pie.
You get it? You get throated, huh?
Little puppy dog, what are you doing? You're just too excited.
How do we continue doing this, but without Jacob sabotaging the fucking podcast?
Great idea. That's a great question.
Sabotaging the what?
I'm gonna fart in the mic.
The podcast, like actually, like continue, like actually doing this, like before like we actually like do this before D&D every time,
Yeah.
but without Jacob.
Without Jacob just ruining it. Yeah. That's horrible.
So like, what was the outcome of the whole?
Well, it's just, I think the guy's still teaching it. I don't know. I've heard from a person, so like I've done no research. Like,
Hey,
just talking out of my ass, dude.
wait, what?
Oh man, there was this guy in Sweden who came up with a design for a roller coaster that would like kill you.
No.
If you wanted to die and like use.
Oh yeah,
dude,
suicide roller coaster.
Dude, I built those in Roller Coaster Tycoon all the time.
Yes.
It
much
took
like
much time,
that.
did it?
No,
Wait,
dude,
how
it
does
was
it kill
very
you? You
easy.
just bar hits
It's
you
like
across the head?
6 like
Or is it
parabolic
G-force?
arcs and
Oh,
like
shit.
G-forces on each one. Like by the
It gives
end
you,
of
like,
it, like
It's really
all the
humane.
blood has left your brain for like long enough that you are fucking dead.
Cuts oxygen off of your brain or something.
Yep.
So you want to
are
die
brain dead,
on a
yeah.
roller coaster?
That sounds not that bad.
Dude, are you for like the legalization of like suicide? and,
Dude,
like,
it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course.
Okay.
And I don't even think it's illegal to kill yourself, right? Like, it can't be a crime.
It
But
is
if you
a crime.
fail though,
It is.
It's
in Japan, it is.
no, if you get caught committing suicide and you fail, like they'll do whether it's jail or they institute you in
They'll
some sort
definitely
of way.
institute
Yeah,
you,
you're gonna. Yeah, you're no longer a free person. Well, not like you were in the first
That's
place.
true. Well, then don't fail at killing yourself. Then you fail at everything. That's what I say. Like, you're gonna kill yourself, kill yourself. And
You're gonna be that
fucking
dude with
suck
the
it
fucking
up if you
hole
want
in
to
your
suck
head
it
for the
up.
rest of your life.
Dude, no, I fucking hate that, dude. They're like, I survived suicide. No, you didn't. You sucked at everything you tried. You failed again. Fuck. Horrible. It's like, what? How do you say I survived suicide? No, you did not. You didn't
You
survive.
failed at
Yeah,
suicide.
yeah, you failed. You actively failed. You tried and you did not succeed. Like, it's like saying, like, I don't know, you didn't like survive. You survive a shark. You survive fucking like a terrorist attack. You don't survive like trying to kill yourself.
What do you
Like,
say
oh,
to
yes.
somebody who survived suicide?
Yeah, not a lot. Just leave it around.
What do you think about giving it another go?
Have you ever thought like just adjusting your aim like a little bit? Like really, don't be afraid. Like when you're just there in that moment, you want to be afraid. Just don't be afraid, bro.
We've got some good study material on Lively.
Well, just material. There was a guy in North Dakota it was like an 83-year-old man. He had set his log cabin up with a bunch of like Home Alone booby traps, but like serious ones. And he accidentally like set off a shotgun and like shot himself in the back. There.
Oh, what?
Rookie
Wait, who was he
mistake,
preparing for? Was he trying to like
No
injure
idea.
him?
They had no idea. No one had any idea. The family hadn't seen him in like 10 years,
just runs in a
so no
Home
one
Alone
knew
trap.
what was like. Santa was coming.
That's
He was
crazy.
getting ready.
Oh my god.
This happened this year. Yeah.
No way.
It's the forest phase, bro. The berries and shit. The kook's out in the fucking woods, bro.
Guy's getting ready, bro. On that note, I'm taking a piss.
And then this is brought to you by Red Barn. Be the barn.
This is brought to you by.
Red Barn.
Modelo.
No, we're Modelo. No, Modelo Silos. This is brought to you by Natty Eyes. It'll get the job done.
I don't get the job done.
Yeah, because
Fuck, dude. I can drink 20 of those and it still won't get the job done.
it's pretty good, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, it does taste good though.
Just get an old English sponsorship.
Hey, you gotta drink what Aaron drinks.
The what?
You gotta drink what Aaron drinks.
What is that?
You know what Aaron is? The Aaron?
From
It's
our
not
school?
our class, dude.
Yeah, but everyone knows Aaron.
How am I supposed to know Aaron?
I didn't know Aaron until I went to MTC.
I probably met him one day. I didn't notice. At a Trump rally.
Trump rally.
Bro, he loves Trump so much.
Trump rally, yeah.
Was that the kid that I met with the glasses?
No.
Who is that?
It's Jacob.
This is shit. That's Jacob.
That's Ron
Jankum.
Ron Weasley.
Jesus Christ.
He's right there.
Jacob.
Jesus Christ.
What's up? Pass me that vape, child.
I'm slow, man. It took me forever to process that.
Dude, I think Aaron would suck Trump's dick if he had the chance.
Yeah.
Would he suck Trump's dick?
To be VP.
Mm.
He's like, you want to be VP? Suck my cock.
He'd fight for the right to suck Trump's. I don't know if he'd actually do it. His flatulence would probably.
Connor, would Aaron suck Trump's dick
Absolutely.
for the right
For
to
the-
be his VP?
Probably. I don't know. I feel bad for Aaron, honestly.
Why? Why do you feel bad for him?
Because I think he had like he got in a pretty traumatic accident. He's got like epilepsy and shit like that. He's got some brain shit. Yeah, he's got some. I don't know. He's told me that he had some brain shit going on. I mean, that's why he's got so much money, like settlement money and shit like that. I think it's health related.
I honestly do feel a little, sympathy for him.
Yeah.
But he's rich, so fuck him.
He's a fucking rich asshole.
Fucking little rich dick.
Trump supporter, fuck him.
Part of
I
the
never
enemy,
thought
bro.
about that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Aaron.
And I feel like that, people that
I
get super into
I think
politics.
I think it came with a good sense of humor, and he's a good down to earth.
No, he's a good guy. Like, I like Aaron, like, for sure, dude. He's
Better
a
than
good
Larry.
Better than Larry.
guy. That's not saying shit, dude.
Apparently, he asked Jose and Arturo the same question.
If they had their green card.
Yeah.
Well, how did Arturo?
Yeah.
And I bet they actually laughed that time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Dude, like, what if, I feel like Larry, though, he's asking that because just in the case if someone says no, I feel like he'd, like, turn him in.
Yeah, for
I'd be-
sure. I'm just trying to do my civil duty.
Dude, I really feel that way.
Yeah, you're probably right, dude.
He's got ice on speed.
I got another.
Oh, thanks, Larry.
Oh, look here.
Sounds like
Mickey Mouse.
A little racist fucking mouse, bro.
He hates the Jews, bro, so it makes sense.
Little
You
snitch.
little fuck.
Dude, you heard what Mark said when Niemer was saying, what did he say? Land stealing horror? And Mark was like, quit that, my wife's Jewish.
When you were saying I'm gonna blow her up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard him
Don't
say
stoke
that.
that fire, Mark. You didn't know.
I heard Mark say that, but I didn't hear the conversation that, like, prior to what he said.
Yeah, there's a whole side of the world that like is
We
not
were
stoked
joking,
on your
right?
wife, bro.
Were you guys talking about Jews though?
Somebody said lemon stealing horrors,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he said land stealing horrors, and then Mark said that's not cool. My wife's Jewish, but he's heard Niemer say it many times before.
But you're telling me this all branched from the porn lemon stealing horrors?
Yeah,
Because I was-
anytime you
I-
say lemon stealing horrors,
because
he
I
always
asked him
says
about
land
Palestine.
stealing horrors right after.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Alright,
Niemer, every time you say lemon stealing horrors, he's like, yeah, fucking land.
What does he
stealing
think we're
horse.
talking about Jews when we say lemon stealing horses?
No.
No,
I
he
asked
knows
him-
what we're talking about, but he turns it into something about Jews.
Alright,
Oh, all right, no, I
Hold
asked him. I
on,
told
for
him
the- for the
about
zero viewers
the
who are
Trump
watching
deal
right now.
about Palestine.
The 0 viewers.
And
who
that's
are
where that
watching
came
right
from. And then I said they're lemon stealing whores, and then he said that. I remember that.
now, for the 0 viewers who are watching right now, the lemon stealing horrors is a porn video where.
We've all seen it, right?
Okay, we've all seen it, but for the no viewers who are
Nobody's
watching. right now,
watching, dude.
Connor's seen it in
Come on.
its entirety.
I did watch it.
Anybody
the whole
listening
thing.
to Throw Pies
bastard,
knows what
dude.
lemon stealing horrors are.
Dude,
Anyone
I've
who's
never
listening-
seen cum travel that many times around the universe, dude, in a porn video. Fucking insane, bro.
You got
That was like early 2000s.
How long
porn,
is it?
too.
It's like a 20-minute video.
No, it's like
right?
45 minutes, bro.
Dude, you
I was
s-
definitely skipping through it. Like,
Oh.
it's a long fucking porn, dude. Fuck. Back in the good old days when they could make some porn in this country.
Why can't we make some good old mean porn anymore?
Oh, dude, there's we got the vintage category. You can still.
Ugh, it's all vintage. I hate that though. That's shaky cameras. I still need that high def, but with that old niche. You know, I have a very
Yeah,
particular taste in my pornography. I will not come until I find it. So you can work with me or against me. I don't really care. I'm gonna find it. Oh, sorry, dude. I'm so tripping.
Oh yeah, it'll lift you out of the
How do you
chair.
feel? That's what Hugo's gonna do after a long
I'm
day
not
of
like
beers.
tripping, but I'm
Pick up
still
the
Yeah,
tripping.
that leg day or something.
I was like
Sit in this
peaked out a
chair.
while ago
Yeah,
because that
look
movie
at
was a yeah.
Really?
Oh my god, dude!
Damn.
Thank you for looking out because that was like kind of coming at me hot. Like, oh my god.
And
Well,
my
you
grandmother
were
was a little shorter, so that's why
What?
it's not
You
like
rose the
the
walk.
biggest
Walking's
chair.
great. I always like outside.
I'm like,
Dude, it's so beautiful.
oh, my
in
neck
here,
is
too,
so
like,
uncomfortable
we
to
live-
sit in that.
We
but-
live in like, dude, yeah, Florida's
it is
got great
comfy for
nature
a minute.
too. Like, it's
The
just very.
sky is beautiful, bro.
What?
The sky is
The
beautiful.
sky's
bro.
always beautiful, and it's like, yeah, it's always very jungle vibes. Like, it's just like a lot of life in the fucking ground and shit. It's really nice. Yeah.
I have my own little forest, but right.
I don't know. We're all on different.
We've gone full circle
Yeah, we're
now.
just
Where are we
jumping
going now?
Mm-hmm.
Where's this trip taking us now?
Where are we going? Lead us into the next one.
Raboni.
Dungeon
Raboni.
Master.
Don't go here.
I mean, y'all really trying to go to Raboni right now?
I mean, I've never seen it.
I'll take us there.
Nothing there.
No guarantees we'll come back though.
Jeez.
Let's take us all
Got PTSD
to
for
a land, peaceful land,
Where to put-
where everyone is frolicking, bicycles are riding,
Gay.
That's pretty gay.
cars are riding by, gunshots are shooting.
Orlando.
Miami.
Drug deals are happening.
Everywhere. America.
Burger Kings are dealing.
America still.
Wait.
Jacob is working.
More secluded area, but I imagine there's a lot of Jacobs out there.
My
Not,
brother's name is Jacob.
and I bet there's Jacobs that are like Jacob all over the Jacob.
I know it's a Jacob, apparently.
Probably living in a Jacob
secret
right now.
society is being happening behind its doors.
I'm talking about late term abortions.
Are we still on that?
I'm talking about a land called Raboni.
Raboni.
A land that once you go there, you never come back.
Yeah, I want that tickle.
I still have a little bit of ass.
A land where
What?
You're gonna pop
people
another?
ride
I have a little
lawnmowers
bit. I mean, it's not like a
in
lot,
streets.
so I might as well.
What'd you have like a half tab?
It's my girl. It's so stupid. That night we were supposed to trip.
Or riding lawnmowers.
She's like started feeling it, and so she cut the little tab off, so it's like half a tab almost, and then she like cut it in half again. Like, maybe if I tripped around, just cutting up acid at this point, dude. Like, what are you doing? So I have that, a half of a half with the other half.
Big dose, dude. I love your
I think
doses.
you dose it, bro.
Well, you're dead.
I think I've ever done that.
Why not, dude? The
Is
night
it like resetting? Is it like
It
resetting?
doesn't like come back like acid.
It's not a lot of acid. I don't
I
have
was
a
gonna say,
lot.
like, do you peak again? Like,
But you know,
do
like when you're coming down, you're like, oh, I wish I was still there. Like, it kind of bumps you
The
back.
question
You're
is,
like,
what
ooh,
page
yeah.
did I put it on? Is a real question.
Why are you looking through a book?
He's
So I
getting
gotta
his
find my
acid,
acid, bro.
Oh.
I just like to read.
I think I
with
see
my
it.
friends. I'm just a little better than you, and I like to
I
read
think
my
it's right there.
Hemingway. That's why I have a book, Samuel.
Samuel. Keep going.
Oh, man.
I see it.
See it?
No, keep going.
Simpson.
What if
Is
Mark
there a little
named
crack right there?
Yeah, there's a little crack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mark Centil just popped
Orion.
up in chat.
I got a Ramonian mark.
He said, Mark was like, I've been to Arboni, it's not that bad. I'm like, you lying ass.
It's like the jerky's not that bad. Rabonia's not that bad.
One, I must say,
Fall on the ground if
there
you're
is
not
one little
careful.
corner that's actually not bad. That one
Rabonia?
corner, you've seen it. It's actually not bad.
That's not for Arboni.
It technically is.
That's what I got right there.
But the real Rabonia.
Dose it up, dude.
Huh?
And just in case.
Trying to get that secondhand acid.
Oh, it touched here.
Wait, you took another?
Not really.
Not a whole tab.
Yeah, like a half a tab. Fuck it. The night is young. 9 o'clock. Why not?
Spit in my mouth.
I'll
Am I driving home?
Oh, probably.
How far do you stay at?
Okay.
How far do you stay?
From here?
Yeah.
No, I'm like 10 minutes.
Bro, I live like, it was like 35 minutes away.
That sounds about right.
Arboni's not too far from
I
here.
hate driving to Palmetto. I used to work in Palmetto and it was just a fucking pain in the ass because
Really?
I had to take 301 because it was like the fastest way and 301 sucks. I hate it. Actually, it wasn't too bad.
Where did
but
you work
depending
at?
on the Clam House.
Oh, wait.
I don't remember what it used to be
Dan and
called.
Marie, is this the Oyster Bar?
No. It's like in between the Green Bridge and the DeSoto Bridge on like 8th or 9th. Right in between those two, there's this little fucking thing. The Winn-Dixie is right there, and there's a fucking little dive. Looks like a little dive bar, but it's a little seafood restaurant.
Oh, Kevin's Crab Shack? You talking about?
Is it blue?
It was the Clam House when I worked there. I don't know. It might be something different now.
It's
been
right
a few
next
years.
to, it's right across the street from Checkers, right? Or not Checkers,
Oh, by the post office.
by the,
There really isn't much on the street other than the Winn-Dixie.
you got Winn-Dixie, you got Bank of America, right
And like
there.
if you were driving up towards the Cortez Bridge, like that 7-Eleven would be right there. That the one that's like right over the bridge on the Palmetto side.
Yeah, I know what
It'd be
you're
like right about there. But yeah, I mean it's not like it's really
the Bay
the old
Area.
place, I guess. But I mean,
What?
we learned a lot about seafood.
With
while I worked there, so.
coronavirus in Bay Area.
I can only think of
Oh,
Kevin's
it's
Crab
kind of
Shack on that
In
road.
Santa Clara County.
It's all good. I just remember I hated driving to Palmetto every fucking day because it would like even when 301 was nice, it would still take me about like 30 minutes. So and that's with nice traffic. And if that shit was fucked up, like if there was bullshit on 75, I'd have to go through Bradenton and then cut up on one of the bridges, and that took fucking forever, like an hour.
It's bad. Well, boys, sorry. It's been good, but I gotta go.
No
No,
apologies.
nice meeting you,
all
man.
good.
Appreciate you
Sorry,
coming.
sorry.
You want to take some wings
dude.
home again?
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm fresh out of ideas.
Dude, I had a good time about it.
No, thanks for getting on the podcast. It was sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're still on it.
Yeah,
They're still on it.
Oh, this isn't
All
it.
right.
You can
Interesting point of views.
You know, would that kid call me Billy Joe, right?
Billy Joel.
Billy
Billy
Joe.
Joel.
Signing out.
sign it up.
Hey, you guys have a
Nice
good
We got
one.
Billy Joel on our podcast, bro.
Thanks for joining us
We
on the
got Billy Joel on
Pod.
our podcast.
Billy Joe. Y'all
Billy
don't forget it,
Joe.
all right?
Good night, man.
I'll definitely be back.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All
Glad
right,
you
man.
came out.
Alright,
Fellow Rabonian.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh, I'm trapped.
I'll let you get out. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, she's gonna go let you go.
See you. I'll never see
Oh
you.
yeah, I forgot to take
Oh, you see Monday? Oh, no,
Oh,
Tuesday.
no.
I gotta drop off my ice paperwork and
Your ice paperwork?
It's actually called that. It's actually called ice paperwork.
Same thing.
Oh yeah, ice out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
God damn,
I
no.
forgot.
All right, well, before we go, let's get that green card.
Alright.
You guys want to take some wings home?
Alright, Ryan. Catch you later.
You go.
Yes,
You
sir.
want some wings?
See you at Pierce.
Yeah, see you. Pierce.
Join the dark.
Keep texting us. Yeah, text us about that
Nah,
shit.
you-
Let us know.
you good.
Yeah, I'll text you.
She is fat right now. She's spending too much time at my mom's house.
Take them to go play.
Man, so 1, 2, 3. And I don't know about Orion. Before you guys want to go to Pier, sorry.
I got about it.
He wants to POC.
I doubt they're gonna make me work 80 hours. I doubt
Yeah, after you started talking, I was like, I heard Ryan saying some shit, but maybe do something else. Take another class.
No, legit, bro. Like when he said like, what his reaction to like, what was it like to 5 to 10, like.
5 in the morning till 10 at night.
And then like,
So have fun with
and when
those
he said
7
his dad, when his dad came over, like, oh, time sleep.
Yeah, the guy dislocated his shoulder. He he didn't want to get fired, so he just popped it in place. He he went back to work.
If it's just dislocated, yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck, gotta make your money.
Yeah, the same thing.
Now. Check.
How much points you get? Like 7, right?
8.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's for absence, right? What is it?
Party.
Oh, I thought you meant you get 8 points for just that. Like, oh fuck, man. Don't ever get hurt up here, dude. Fuck.
We hired someone yesterday.
Okay, no, I get that. I get 8 points total, but alright.
Alright, man. You guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Love you, princess.
Thanks for the.
So,
Thanks
yeah,
for
That's
the.
what
Alright, guys.
Later,
Alright,
guys.
guys.
Definitely like to come back whenever you guys do this again.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Usually every
whenever we
Friday.
do D&D, we'll hit you up.
Alright, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. See you, man.
Cool, man. Yeah.
I'm so tired. It's only 8, bro. It's only 9.
It's only 9 o'clock. Fuck.
Anybody else think that Bugs Bunny looked hot when he like dressed up as a girl
yes.
bunny?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're talking about Space
When
Jam,
Bugs
dude.
Bunny
Yeah,
was-
yeah.
In Space
Yeah.
Jam, dude, that was a hot bunny, dude.
Oh, Lola.
Mm-hmm. Dude, yeah, yeah.
All the
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, you're talking about like when he gets all kissy with Elmer Fudd and shit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
God.
There's
Oh,
one like where he
shit.
does like a ballet.
Me neither.
Is this
Me
the one you're
neither.
talking about? Where he's like a Viking?
What?
Like when Elmer Fudd's a Viking? No.
I mean, could be.
Probably.
Yeah,
we got a
he's-
lot of cartoons.
Dude, Bugs Bunny kissed Elmer
Guess
Fudd
we got a
so
lot
much.
of problems in the world that we have to solve.
Yeah. Like what?
Like Huawei stealing all our technology and shit.
Wawa is stealing our technology.
Wow.
Huawei, bro.
Chinese company.
But they're probably taking it through Wawas.
Yeah.
It's a giant joke on us. Huawei.
What is that company? What is it?
Oh, it's a Chinese like tech company, right? Make phones and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
yeah,
they have like?
phones and shit and 5G? And actually, there was this thing in the news the other day about how like America's kind of upset at the UK because the UK decided they were gonna go ahead and use Huawei to like build their 5G.
No
shit.
way. Yeah, good for
What's
them in
that?
their own country. Why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, it's exactly right. It's a free market, so do what you want.
But it's China.
Can't do it because, like, oh no.
Yeah, West. We're the West. You're on our team.
Save some money.
Yeah. They have better stuff, better technology.
But like, isn't it like installed
All the
in
cool shit
government?
we use is coming from over there, anyways. So
Yeah,
it's
dude.
like they're just going one factory down the street. It's
But
really
isn't Huawei owned by the
It's-
government?
Well, I mean, it's from China.
every Chinese
Yeah,
company is
it's
owned by
not
the government.
That's what I'm saying.
It's inseparable, yeah. Well, so that's why like people like have said that there might be a security concern for like
There-
everybody
there
having
is.
their data stored on.
Oh, for sure there is. Absolutely.
no.
Yes, use his FaceTime
Where'd my
lock.
acid go, dude?
Use
You
the
made me
lock
laugh.
for their face. We're just
No.
gonna scan you.
You just made me spit out my
Thousands of
acid,
times.
bastard.
Russia started
Probably sucked it up
instilling
anyway.
their own technology in their TVs, like their own their own software.
Dude, they're doing that to us right now with like Amazon and all this shit. Like they're storing all our data for sure
They
and
put-
selling it without our permission. So how's that any different than what
We
Huawei
need to
wants
start
to
making
do?
money off that bitch. We gotta
I
see
got rid of my
the
Facebook.
tech pumpkins.
Everything else, Instagram and
Mhm.
Snapchat. No one's getting shit from me.
I have just reinstated all of my social media, so fuck my life.
It's okay. You gotta get the
Yeah.
message out, man.
Fuck.
I gotta get the good Easy Mac message out.
Consumer whore.
Like a throat pie message.
It's a good message. Never gets old.
Have you
Brought
guys
to
seen
you
the?
by-
Have you guys? Wait, I think I already said this at the. I don't know if this was at the beginning of the day or the beginning of the podcast, but the grapefruit video of the black lady.
Needs to be the
sucking
intro.
dick.
Mm.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Or we just get an actual girl throwing up on a throat pie. Take that noise.
Yeah.
You seem less stoked about that, buddy. This is throat pie. I want the raw. I don't need some fake grapefruit. I need a real girl with her hopes and dreams and a load of cum in her throat. Horrible.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Shit.
It's so beautiful. It's the only way I can come now.
No.
It's so beautiful, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. No.
Go on.
I'll recommend to you.
Keep
later.
your secrets.
Well, you guys also you got a little hentai treat to show me. Show me.
No.
We
Come
bring
on,
you a
dude.
throw pie lullaby next. For late night viewers.
We should end every episode with like a deep throat chick, just trying to get her name out on the porn.
Hey, girl.
And this one was brought to you by Mandy Muse.
I know the baby isn't asleep yet, but
Different porn stars. And tonight we're featuring Alexis Texas with. I really don't want this coming enough.
is Alexis Texas still around?
Dude, for sure.
Oh man.
Unless she died, which is very possible. She was kind of living risky.
Man.
Oh, fuck.
So it's like watching a documentary then.
Pretty much.
Not this.
It's cool she's dead.
Oh, dude. What's that going on over there, bud?
Take your palm away. Nothing happens.
This guy apparently just found out that.
The snap of your fingers is not this. It's your finger hitting the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
If you take your palm away, nothing happens.
Like,
He just fucking figured
he
that
just
out.
found that out, dude.
You fucking
I have to
retard.
make a video about this.
I didn't make a video, man. Get the information out, bro.
That dude's from Rivonia.
What's that?
That dude's definitely from
He's got that secret knowledge, dude.
He's got that. He's got that secret tag.
What a society we live in where we can just mass produce smartphones and you can be so dumb to be like droning out on it. Look at where this come from. I don't get.
I don't get.
While this communicates with space and shit.
If you take your palm away, there's no noise.
These definitely was on
Genius, dude.
Jankum, bro.
You might have been on Jacob. Still killing it. Still a good show. It's the only show that's still good. Like Family Guy sucks now. Everything sucks now. Then South Park's
Yeah,
the only one
Simpsons
kept
not
going.
that great.
Simpsons is horrible.
Old
dude.
Simpsons is good.
Old Simpsons is great up to like about 2003 to 5, and then after that it's like bullshit.
Fifth season we got that.
Everybody, can I just have a second of your time, please? Everyone, listen up. Listen, everybody,
Why would
I'm no coward.
speakers
I'm
throb
just
the
a
volume like
I
this?
want to do it in front of everyone because